The biggest professional track meet in America has already happened this year because the Prefontaine Classic is officially over. It's the only Diamond League event that they run in the States. So unless you're counting the Olympic trials, which I don't, then the Pre-Classic is the biggest meet that we have. And let me tell you, the athletes on the track did not disappoint, because Grant Holloway did what he does by still making it clear that he is the best hurdler in the entire world. But Beatrice Chebet broke the world record in the women's 10K. Yes, that has already happened. So as far as I'm concerned, she is now the favorite to bring home another gold medal for Kenya, because they take distance incredibly seriously over there. But the leading story has to be what Sha'Carri Richardson did in the 100-meter dash. She won the race in convincing fashion, beating the world indoor champion Julian Alfred to do it. It's not technically the fastest time in the world yet, but we already know there are very few women in the world who can even run as fast as the 10.83 seconds that she put down. But the reason why Sha'Carri's run had to become the headline story is because Noah Lyles did not compete in the Pre-Classic. The 100-meter dash was run, and Christian Coleman was there, and he ran away from everyone like he normally does. He actually held them off, running 9.95 seconds. But everybody knows that Noah Lyles is technically the man to beat, because when you are the reigning world champion in the 100 and the 200, the target is always on your back as the fastest man in the world. So when Kenny Bednarek went out and won the 200-meter dash, nobody really thought too much about it. And the reason is for the same reason no one really talked about Christian Coleman, because Noah Lyles was not in that race. He actually hasn't even run a 200-meter dash yet, officially in 2024. But Noah had made it incredibly clear that he fully expects to become the Olympic gold medalist in the 100, the 200, and the 4x1. And he's even planning on bringing home a fourth gold medal if he can find another event for him to get into. But if you are a sprinter and you happen to be American, the only way you can make the games is you first have to qualify out of the Olympic trials. And Kenny Bednarek is going to be there again. And as of right now, he is the fastest man in the world in the 200-meter dash. His victory at the Pre-Classic was a statement because he beat Courtney Lindsay to do it. And earlier in the outdoor season, he used to be the world leader in that event. The truth is that people don't talk about Kenny Bednarek all that much because he doesn't really give us that much to talk about. He simply shows up to the meets wearing a kung fu headband and he runs very fast, normally earning a medal for all of his trouble at the end of the season. But during an interview with Sireece magazine, after his performances at the Prix, Kenny Bednarek was asked how he thinks he's going to perform at the Olympic trials. And then he made it clear that he fully expects to win the 100 and the 200 at the trials. It doesn't take a whole bunch of work to figure out that he's saying that he is going to beat Noah in both events when he gets there. Just because his name isn't Noah Lyles or Arian Knighton doesn't mean that Kenny Bednarek is not a legitimate threat. And although we don't pay attention to him much, he has made it clear in 2024 that he not only has the talent to win the trials, but to win the gold in both events. The only question is, will he do it? But unlike every other American on the track right now, Kenny is the only one who actually has a better record than Noah does at the Olympic trials as well as the Olympics themselves. Kenny normally lets his races do all the talking for him, which is entirely fine because he has a track record, literally, to back it up. But if you're new here, I have to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SVARecruiting.com, where I rank the best high school track and field recruits in the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comments section because I try to read them all. Nobody really mentions Noah Lyles versus Kenny Bednarek as a legitimate rivalry, but it doesn't mean that that hasn't been happening for the majority of their careers. Noah Lyles famously skipped college and ran pro straight out of high school. He never looked back after it. But to be clear, Kenny Bednarek did a version of the exact same thing. He did technically run one college season, but that was at Indian Hills Community College, where for the most part, he went undefeated for his entire college career. The only race that he technically lost was a race that he didn't even finish. From that point, he turned pro and never looked back after it. And that is not normal for junior college athletes after one season. He then made the Olympic team in 2021 in the 200, even though he didn't beat Noah Lyles at the Olympic trials. But when they got to the Olympic final, in that event, it was Kenny Bednarek who finished ahead of Noah to earn the silver medal. Even though he didn't make the Olympic team in the 100 that year, he did finish 4th at the Olympic trials on the way there. Noah Lyles did not run in the 100 either at the Olympics. If you do the math on that, then that means Kenny was ahead of him in that event at that time. From then until now, we know exactly how good Noah Lyles has been. He has a whole bunch of gold medals to prove it. But if you go look back at his 200 in 2022, it was Kenny Bednarek who was right behind him with the silver. And in 2023, he technically didn't get a medal in the 200. But that's only because he made the final and got 5th when he was there. So entering 2024, we knew that Kenny Bednarek had to be taken seriously as a threat to make Team USA once again. But when he said that he had a plan to win the 100 and the 200 at the trials, it only sounds crazy if you haven't been watching him this entire season. Kenny has been the fastest 200-meter runner in the world this year, and his race at the Pre-Classic only further legitimizes him with that status. But he's only run the 100-meter dash twice during this season so far. One of those races was in Kenya, where he ran 9.91 seconds, slightly wind assisted, to win the event. But the other was at the Tom Jones Memorial, where he faced off with some of America's fastest men, including Noah Lyles. I was at that race live, sitting in the front row on the finish line, and Noah Lyles technically got the victory, but they both ran the same time, down to the 100th of a second, 10.01 seconds on that day. Although Noah Lyles might be the reigning world champion in the 100-meter dash, his PR in that event to this point is still between 9.8 and 9.9 seconds, just like Kenny Bednarek. And although he's gotten the better of him in the 200 throughout the past 2 seasons, he did not pull that off during the last Olympic Games. What I'm trying to say is that Kenny Bednarek is legit. He's one of the few men in the world who can not only run with Noah, but actually try and keep up with him. Beyond that, he's already proven that he can cross the line in first during the one race that actually matters on the calendar. I honestly can't give you a definitive answer about which one of them is going to win at the Olympic trials in either event. But what history is telling us is that these men know how to make Team USA and then show out for the entire world once they get on the biggest stage. So if you are American and you happen to be a sprinter and you actually want to make it to Paris this summer, you'd better bring your A game and then some, because the way things are looking right now, there's only one spot left in the 100 and the 200 to represent Team USA. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.